Don't be programmed.
Malcolm X to me was the most important spokesman we have ever had in this country for black people. Bar none.
I'll tell you, I'm a man who believed that I died 20 years ago, and I live like a man who is dead already. I have no fear whatsoever of anybody or anything.
Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
Welcome to episode 2 of That is Projection, That is a Psyop. Today's episode, we're going to be covering 3 topics. Topic number 1 is celebrity, and we're going to be using Jay-Z as an example, for we have actual tangible proof that Jay-Z is willing to do anything that guides that being to its own desires, even if it means the destruction of your so-called soul. Topic number 2, we're going to be discussing the Messiah energy, how to spot it out, and then ultimately recognize that once you see it, you are it. And then we're going to be using Malcolm X as an example for that. On that note, there is actually a divine law that says what you see is what you are, and what you are is what you see. So be careful what you think, say, and do. Topic number 3, we're going to be discussing buck breaking. Now, buck breaking is something that was very, very prevalent in slavery. And once you watch this video, you'll understand what slavery is a lot more. Slavery isn't just what happened a little over 400 years ago, 500 years ago, to the so-called black community. We say so-called because the race identifiers didn't exist until a particular group of people that were in power in the 18th century said, let's classify and separate. So it's so-called. Buck breaking happens during slavery. And if we are still in slavery, people are still experiencing buck breaking. And we're going to be using Andrew Schultz as an example for that. Stay tuned.
And then realize, oh, I'm just a spiritual person. I can never sell my soul, they sold to me. I can never sell my soul, they sold to me. I can never sell my soul, they sold to me.
Do you know why Prince, the famous rock star that was a friend of mine, do you know why he called himself the artist when he came back? He calls himself the artist because that's what they call us in our contracts. Oh, these contracts are crazy. You should hear the terminology they say in these contracts. To use your name and likeness in perpetuity throughout the universe. Who the fuck could possibly know what that means?
We don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it one more.
I did a lot of homework on you, Miss Lady.
He said, there are 2 ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
Jay-Z has always been this mythical figure, and we say mythical figure with quotations due to the fact that the being is seemingly untouched. After doing research on contracts, especially since I'm an artist, I have a show tomorrow actually, as of March 13th. So tomorrow's March 13th, I have a show. And I know very, very well how these contracts work. Even Tidal hit me up when I was 13 years old for me to sign a deal. They hit me up through a Twitter DM wanting to sign me, the actual Tidal account. This person definitely preys on the young because I got preyed on and I was his company. I don't make things out of everybody else's emotion. I move off of experience and truth. That's it. I experienced it. And what you just heard is the truth. You're not going to tell me that any person with a morale structure or morality structure that is in alignment with the rest of the majority of society, peace, freedom, liberation, niceness, forgiveness, that is like the morality structure of the society. You're not going to tell me that him saying on an album literally called A Written Testimony, and we gave you the definition of a testimony, that he does not sell his soul, people sell theirs to him. People sell their soul to him. You're not going to sit here and tell me that any person in their right mind or heart is going to allow that to happen to another person if humanity was focused on, if what is the source, aka God, is focused on. You're not going to tell me that you're going to be freely saying those type of things. See, everything else was a rumor or hints of truth. All the conspiracies around Jay-Z, I don't do conspiracies. I brought you facts out that man's own mouth on an album called A Written Testimony. He literally says, I don't sell my soul. People sell their soul to me. That is what Jay-Z said. Sit on that. Now, when we anchor the fact that we understand some beings of the dark have this twisted ideology that says if I tell you, you can't say I'm wrong. Because in literal ways and definitions, for example, if I give you an apple but advertise that apple is poisonous and you still eat the apple, you're not liable legally. These dark beings don't care about divine laws. They care about actual laws, the laws of the society. They are going to do everything they care about, and Source had me repeat that. These beings do not care about divine laws. These beings do not care about divine laws. These beings, the Jay-Z's of your life, the Boule-esque beings of your life. Look up what a Boule is. A Boule, bourgeoisie, all of these type of things go hand in hand. A group of people that sold out that look like you and I. These beings don't care about divine laws. They care about laws of society, laws of man. So they're going to do everything they can to legally be safe. A written testimony. Then we hear Dave Chappelle on record talk about what's in the contracts. I've seen these type of contracts and seen the offering these people were trying to make. Me personally, if you may say, oh, how did you get a contract if you're the spiritual leader? I'm one of the greatest artists you will ever listen to. In my show tomorrow, the first song me and my brother were performing is called Saviors. And my verse is amazing. Let me say it to you so you know. I am coming from a place of experience as it pertains to music. So I know how God delivers the gift. I know how God offers the gift to give us that gift to gab. And I understand the psyche and how the subconscious works in constructing a rhyme. I know everything it takes to make a good song. The verse goes like this on Saviors, my verse specifically. Listen, more like black leaders and popes kissing their feet in. More like how you reach us is honored that this our sweet land. More like we was here first, but the first one to cross the line get puts in dirt. Dirty to the clean is like snow over hot springs. Bathe in my bubble, below me a clear pop like a sober father, jaded kissing women cause his locks rooted deep in dirt. Clear your head means not shampoo squirts for it's deeper. Deeper than the grave your thriller rose from. This rose that grew from concrete like two apocalyptic worlds hung themselves to free all of the people still in bondage. Band-aids won't fix the wound, must expose it to this knowledge. Bands aid you with these drums, listen close if not rewind it. These sounds for your soul crash like cymbals, call it sonics, hawking hedge funds won't lead you close to God, for it's not diamonds. God is within you if you wondered how to find it. I know how to rap. I am a living legend, the son of God. I understand how you make a song. What Jay-Z said. That means he went through his godly filters. Because everybody, regardless if you're quote-unquote good or bad, you have godly filters because first, we all came from God. So those lines went through his godly filters. They passed through his experience filters. They went through his humanity filters. And he still said, on a written testimony, I'm going to tell everybody the truth of who I am. Do not be fabricated by celebrity. That is celebrity. That is how deep you can go in celebrity. That's how deep you can go. You can go the Michael Jackson route, just as deep as the Jay-Z route, but fight as much as you can. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Or you can be the ones, the they, that Michael Jackson is talking about. What they both have in common, Jay-Z and Michael Jackson, is they both signed that contract initially. They both chased after fame. Do not fall victim to the celebrity. That is projection. Because Jay-Z projected his demeanor, energy, and all the wicked tendencies onto others in the form of contract. It is a psyop. That is a psyop. It's psychological operation. It's psychological warfare. It's twisting the mind. Innocent children are involved. Twisting the mind of adults even. And saying, hey, you can do this, or if you don't do this, you're done. That is how a pimp moves. Iceberg Slim, which Dave Chappelle also talked about, said one way he breaks his hoes is to beat them with a coat hanger, run bath water, wash them up, and now they're psychologically twisted because the person that beat me is now saving me.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Malcolm was killed because of another brother named DePinto. A lot of people thought he was African, but he was East Indian. He was born in Nairobi. He's the one that changed Malcolm's head from black nationalist to Pan-Africanism and made that connection from here to there. And the government said, we can't let this happen. He's the one that persuaded Malcolm when he went to Africa and stayed 7 weeks and met with all the real leaders. And then he's the one that discussed with Malcolm of bringing racism to the doorsteps of the U.S. And as Malcolm was being shot dead in New York City, DePinto was being gunned down in Nairobi. All right. Same time. So don't tell me about no black Muslims.
What is a Messiah? You literally seen in the definition. A Messiah is a divine figure. A divine figure is any being who moves by the divine laws and allows divination to be totally them, whether consciously, subconsciously, intentionally, or unintentionally. Malcolm X is a Messiah in the same way Yeshua, aka Jesus, is a Messiah. in the same way that I, as Nadiie Black, is a Messiah, and in the same way that you are a Messiah. For you listen to God when you pray, for you would not be here if you didn't. I am a son of God, as are you, and or daughter of heaven. Going into more fully what a Messiah is, or a divine figure specifically, it's the process of understanding what you see is what you are. What I am is what I'll distribute. So what should be reflected back is who I am. Precisely why angels aren't seen in hell. For if angels were in hell, they would be considered, in the terminology of the society, a demon. There's a reason, and that divine law is the reason. It's not a divine law of separation. It's God basically saying to you, who are you? You say your name. What does your name represent? It's precisely why Malcolm X changed his name to Malcolm X instead of Red, because he was once a gangster. Because what is associated with your name is your personality, your energy, who you are. You change your title. A name is just a title. You change your title, your frequency, your rank. Red didn't have the same rank as Malcolm X. Jesus the Carpenter didn't have the same rank as Jesus the Christ. Nadiie Black did not have the same rank as who I was before. You don't have the same rank as what you was before you clicked on this video. A Messiah is someone who not only sends divine statements, aka prayers, to the source, but listen. When's the last time you took a breath and just was quiet and waited for a response from source? Didn't expect, just was patient. And then when your soul said, all right, move, you just trusted whether you heard something audibly or not, something that you can comprehend or not, you knew God spoke to you. That is a Messiah. You are a Messiah. Malcolm X is a Messiah. For he changed people to be in a state of perspective where they were able to see clearly. Aside from your ranking and your frequency, what makes a Messiah is, are you guiding others to seeing themselves as God sees them? As whole, and in the spiritual world, holy. You can't hate yourself and be holy. You can't be whole but hate yourself. For hating yourself is saying, I like this, but I don't like that. By definition, that's not whole. By definition, that's not holy. I, like Jesus, don't save anyone. I, like Malcolm X, don't save anyone. We guide people to seeing themselves as God sees them. For God sees you as whole and holy. So if God sees you as whole and holy, and you see yourself as God sees you, then suddenly your ailments disappear. The transition of Malcolm X is projection. That is projection. For the government projected their energy onto the people and said, if you go this route, we'll do this to you. And that is also a psyop, for it psychologically twists the minds of all people, specifically the so-called blacks. Because now we subconsciously, remember, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind are totally different. The subconscious mind does not value the same thing the conscious mind values. The subconscious mind does not process the same way the conscious mind processes. Your conscious mind may say, oh, if he got clapped and he got clapped, well, I'm putting my hands down. No clapping. The subconscious mind, however, has a different filtering. The subconscious mind says everything about that person, the way it dresses, thinks, talks, I will remove myself from it. If that happens to them, I make sure it won't happen to me. You see psychologically how damaging that is. Now, if you expand the perspective to the 60s, 70s, 50s, 40s, you see, slowly by slowly, there was knocking people down. Fred Hampton, everyone. Malcolm X was one of those ones, though. But note, and this is the beauty, Malcolm X already said, I'm not here. I'm not in the flesh. I've transcended. You can't transition me, for I've already transitioned in your way. Read to Malcolm X. Only God can transition me. So it was preordained how Malcolm X was going to leave. He left his mark. In the same way Yeshua had to leave his disciples, sometimes you have to leave your people for them to appreciate. Because logically, if I'm able to provide everything for you, your thoughts and your miracles, you are not going to provide anything for yourself. All of these divine beings knew another son of source was going to come, and me as a Nadiie, and then deliver a very powerful message of truth. Putting all of the power, whether you believe in me or not, for I'm not asking for your belief. It's my goal to not have followers. My goal is to have 0 followers. For all those people that claim to be a follower are now leaders. Do not stand behind me, stand beside me, for we are in the Aquarius age where the entire planet wakes up. And then not just wakes up, gets out and gets fresh air. I don't need you just waking up. I don't need or want you to just wake up. Do as you please. Just know what I'm doing is something that you can replicate. I lead as an example. When I woke up, I went out. I walked. So walk. Walk.
Everybody, his security, they will kill me. They will destroy me. They'll find me in the street. They'll fucking cut me up. They'll shoot me. They'll do whatever. I'm not a tough guy. Y'all do. But just Kendrick, I would make love to him, and there's nothing he could do about it. Just Kendrick Lamar, I would make love to him, and the only thing that he could do is decide if it's consensual or not. That's the only thing he could do.
This one doesn't need too much explanation. Some things you just can't get people to ignore. Read it. Look at it. This series I'm making, that is projection, that is a psyop. The intention behind it is to show you the day-to-day psyops that happen in the world and how practical and normalized everyone has become to it. The way you dress is a psyop and projection, the way you talk is a psyop and projection, and the way you think. So I'll tell you what's a projection about this. Andrew's insecurities and his task. And I'll tell you what's a psyop. Buck breaking is a psyop. Psychological warfare after physical trauma. Peace unto you. My name is Nadiie Black. Thank you for making it this far into the video. Please support me. Check out the link in my bio. It leads to all of me. You will find all of my music, Nadiie Black, N-A-D-I-I-E Black. Y'all know how to spell that. It leads to my teachings, my mystery school. Very, very potent information. It literally changes your life. If you DM me 33, I'll give you our free 3-day course that literally teaches you how to become what people call the Christ, or what we call God's will or the truth, in 3 days. Thousands of people have taken it and came back with it. I have a game called The Ethers. I released on the Android. Will be out on iPhone soon. The Ethers on the Google Play Store. Really put enlightenment within a game, because if God is all, God is all. So please support me, and we'll continue to make more of these type of videos. Thank you.